Yo, welcome back. 2-5 Daily. Get it off my chest. 2-5 in the building. Sports Reports is ordered. Thanks for all the support and the love. Just want to holler at y'all about a few things real quick. So, to start us off, I've been trying to figure this out for the longest time. Whenever we watch sports, it's always so easy to root for the underdog. Back in the day, before they became the overdog, everybody wanted to see Gonzaga go a little further. Joe Namath with the guarantee, upset of the century over the Colts in the Super Bowl. We wanted to see, the Dallas Mavericks beat the Miami Heat. We wanted to see these things happen because we wanted something different than the norm. But for some reason, when it comes to college football, that just doesn't seem to be the way we operate. So, like I said, back in March Madness, this past year, we had Florida Atlantic and San Diego State make it to the Final Four. Now, everybody got upset when they got to the Final Four because we wanted our blue bloods, right? Kansas, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, so on and so forth. But the first rounds of March Madness were built on these upsets. Bryce Drew with the shot against Ole Miss for Valparaiso, Butler, VCU, these things, George Mason. It was what March Madness is built upon, and it's why March Madness is so popular because these schools that you never heard of come out of nowhere and pull down the Goliath. So you're happy about it as long as it's not your team. But in college football, it takes me back to Boise State beating Oklahoma, and everybody said it was a fluke. If they had to play in the Big 12 every week, which was probably true. But then you had Utah come through in 2008, and they curb stomped Alabama. That was Urban Meyer, Alex Smith. Everybody was talking about how Alabama was going to stomp them in the Sugar Bowl, SEC country, all that good stuff. And then Utah jumped out to a 31-3 lead. Yeah, nobody was happy about it. Florida won the national title that year. Utah sat there undefeated, but had no chance to win the championship. What other sport can you win all your games in and not have a chance at the championship? So Boise came through, they kept on winning throughout the years. They would always drop a clunker against Nevada, somebody like that. And then there was the 1 year Boise and TCU made it through undefeated. So for the bowl game, what did we get? We got Boise against TCU. The establishment didn't want Boise or TCU to upset the apple cart any more than they already had. Fast forward 2017, UCF undefeated, no chance at a playoff. 4 teams. Maybe if it was a 12-team playoff, they would have been in there, but not a 4-team playoff. Then the next year, they go to regular season undefeated again, lose to LSU in the Fiesta Bowl by 8 or 9 points. And then everybody says, ha, I told you they lost against the big boys, as if they didn't beat Auburn the year before. But then when they beat Auburn in that bowl game the year before, Auburn, who played for the SEC title, by the way, Auburn, who had beat Georgia and Bama, by the way, everybody said, oh, well, Auburn didn't want to be there. Well, did Auburn not want to be in Atlanta when they lost 28-7 to Georgia? Now, with that being said, it made me wonder, why is Cinderella not accepted in college football? Is it because of the 4-team playoff? So if you have your Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, whoever, you don't have room for Cincinnati. You want somebody else in there. But now next year that we're going to go to this 12-team playoff, maybe a Tulane, maybe a Boise, maybe UCF's in the Big 12 now. Cincinnati's in the Big 12 now. So we won't even get to see that because if it's Tulane or UTSA, Fresno State, you're just going to complain that they're not good enough and they're taking a spot away from somebody else. Why is that? So Monday night is another example of this. Duke is not a Cinderella per se. They're a big name school. We know who they are. We know they're in Durham, but they go out here and put the mollywop on Clemson. And now after the game, all the talk is what's wrong with Clemson, not what Duke did right or what Duke did wrong. But you can't have it both ways because Colorado is too big to be a Cinderella, but they went 1-11 last year. So Coach Prime came in, they knocked off TCU, and now everybody's riding the Colorado wave. So, so if Colorado gets through, everybody's probably going to support them, or there's going to be your haters on one side and there's going to be your lovers on this side. But all in all, what's with college football and its fans not wanting Cinderella? Can somebody give me the answer to that question in the comments? Please like, review, subscribe. Thank you very much for your time.